Contracts Accounting. I've been at AU since December of this year, and it has been a very fun time figuring out how things work here, what's going on in sponsored research, and how Grants and Contracts Accounting can provide the support that the university needs. So once this gets set up, in your packet you actually have a picture of the slide that I'm going to post anyway. It's called the Award Lifecycle. There it is. And basically that's what we're going to talk about today, the life cycle of an award. Many of you know, I'm pretty sure, because you may have grants or awards with the university. Can you hear me okay? Am I loud enough to stop? Yeah, I don't like colors. Many of you know the pre-award side. And this is the finding funding. You go out and you get the money, or you get funding to do the research that you are so excited to do. And we love to hear about that excitement. But all of this happens in the pre-award stage. It happens before we actually get a signed agreement from the sponsor. And we have the prepared proposal. You are very intimately involved in, okay. Like I said, you're all involved in the pre-award side for the most part, from finding funding and working on the proposal to make sure that everything that you're wanting to do or planning to do or the solicitation requires of you is included, and we can actually tell the sponsor, this is what we're going to do for you. Yes, please fund us so that we can go forth and do what's needed. And then we submit the proposal, and all of this is handled, you're working very intimately with OSP and Jim's team, which he just had to speak. Submitting the proposal, we negotiate the awards, and we may have to negotiate rates, we may have to negotiate, we need more money for this or that. They may want to add scope to it. All of that happens during the award negotiation phase. And then once the sponsor comes in and they say, yes, go, we've signed off on the dotted line, we get the approval, we go into post-award. So we set up the project, and that is a function that happens between OSP and GCA, Grants and Contracts Accounting. At that point, we get involved, and when I'm done, I'll have my team stand up, just as Jim did, and introduce themselves and let you know where, what units they support as well. But here we are doing a lot of system information. Joe is collecting information for their systems. We're collecting information for the financial systems, because now we have an agreement with the sponsor, and we have to make sure that we're able to manage their awards financially, physically, get up and go and do what needs to be done. We're ordering things, we're buying things, so we have to make sure that that setup happens here. There's a lot of communication with the units at that point, but once we get everything set up, we get the account established, then you go out and you actually do the work. You do the research, and we work with you on that as well. We're not out researching with you, but we are making sure that when items come in and they post to the general ledger, they're where they're supposed to be. We work intimately with the units to make sure that if travel is going out, we are being in compliance with either the federal regulations, sponsor regulations, AU policies and procedures, and we just want to make sure that at any time, AU is not put at risk. So that's really what our office is for. We want to provide support, we want to make sure that we're compliant, and we want to make sure that AU is not at risk for not doing something they're supposed to do or doing something that we shouldn't be doing. So you go out and perform the work, and award management is just what I was talking about. All of that kind of works together. We also, in GCA, we do the invoicing and the financial reporting for you. So any of those requirements that are given by the sponsor, we look through, we read through the terms. We want to make sure that we're giving them what they ask for. They want to know how you're managing these awards. We make sure to give them that information. We work very closely with the units to make sure that you are also reporting, because a lot of them ask for technical reports. They want to know what you see, what you're doing, how it's working out with not numbers. They want to know words. They like to know, what are you really doing? we're gonna be on the numbers side, giving them the numbers. This is how much we've spent. This is where we are. This is how much we need. Maybe we need a little bit more. And then we all work together to see where we are and where we need to go. In invoicing and reporting, we also have audits. We're audited by the federal government. We're audited by sponsors. We're audited by our internal and external auditors because we want to make sure, again, that we're being compliant with the rules and the regulations that we have to follow. So if you're looking for information on financial reporting, what are our numbers looking like? If someone reaches out to you about an audit, we need support, we need information, that's probably someone in our office. We're just making sure that we get them what they need, the auditors that is, and AU is in good standing. And then we close the award out. So we make sure to send any final reports to the sponsor, any final numbers to the sponsor. We want to make sure that they have everything they need to say we've done what you asked us to do. We did a great job at it. Please give us more money so we can do it again. So that is the award life cycle in a nutshell, very quick. And I would like GCA to stand and introduce themselves and say what units they're with.
Hello, my name is Fanny Walker, and I am GCA, and my responsibility is College of Arts and Sciences, so I'm here to support you.
Good morning, my name is Sam Al-Arif. I'm a grants accountant at GCA, and I work to support the School of Communication, Kogod School of Business, WAMU, the library, the School of Professional and Extended Studies, and the Center for Latin American and Latino Studies.
Good morning. My name is Kanako Harada. I'm a grants accountant, and I'm assigned to School of International Service and Provost Offices.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Evelyn Magana. I'm actually the administrative assistant for GCA. So most likely, if you call, I'll be the person that directs you to the appropriate accountant or grant accountant.
Hi everyone, my name is Denitria Scott. I am the senior accountant at GCA. I am the financial point of contact for Washington School of Law and the School of Public Affairs.
Thank you. So again, GCA, we handle mostly post-award financial administration. We are here to support you, to help you, to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row compliantly or in a compliance manner so that you can continue doing the research that you need to do and continue to build the research portfolio at AU. I'll turn it back up. Yes, definitely.
I don't know if this is the right time for questions or, oh, is it okay? Yeah. I'm Tara Morsi. I'm an assistant professor in the School of Public Affairs, and in the past with external grants, it's been really hard to know how much has been spent and what things have been reimbursed, what hasn't gone through. From the investigator's side, it's kind of a black box, and I keep track of it on my own Excel spreadsheet, which in other institutions, there's been a portal where you can sign in just like your bank account. Is there any move toward that, toward more transparency on the faculty side?
Actually, we do have a system that will allow you to pull that information. So what you would want to do is either you can email me or I'll get your information so that we can get you access. So you can access a portal that will give you the information of what has been spent. Mind you, do keep in mind, it only shows you what has posted to the general ledger. So keeping your spreadsheets offline of what you spent is good because that's a good way for us to be able to reconcile what has posted versus what's outstanding. But it will show you what has posted, what's cleared, what's been paid, and you can see what you have left. We definitely have that already and would love to give you access to it. So, any of you. Great, I'll turn it back over to Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. The one thing I wanted to point out, and this dovetails on what she was talking about, how important it is for OSP and GCA to work together. And I think one of the the best example of this connection, both on my chart and as well as what you see up here, is that on the pre-award end, when OSP reviews and we submit grants, what we do is try and have the best proposal that we can to go out the door. Because when it is funded, it should lead to less work at the post-award phase, meaning award establishment and award management. You know, at some universities, you may be willing to accept some less than 100% accuracy at the pre-award stage just to get the grant out the door, but then you have issues when the award comes in. And sometimes that cleanup delays the establishment of award activity. And, you know, of course, faculty, when the awards come in, faculty want those awards set up as soon as possible. And that's one of the most important metrics you'll find in research administration. And at every university, you will find awarded PIs who start counting days. Like, it took you 4 days to establish an award, or it took you 30 days. And so, when it comes to some of the basic metrics in research administration, time is of the essence, okay? And this is something we will get to here at AU once we get more of our policies and procedures in place. But the three most important set of metrics to all of us in research administration is how long does it take to get a grant out the door once it's come into central administration. One, how long it takes to negotiate and sign contracts. That's the second set of metrics. And the third metric is how long does it take for the award to get set up. Those are the three most important metrics you have in a grants office structure that is integrated. And by integrated, I mean what we do in OSP, and when we receive awards, those awards go over to GCA. Now, for the faculty in the room that have been successful in the past, you know we have a very challenging funding environment, both in the United States as well as globally. Depending on the programs of the federal government, you have anywhere from an 8 to a 20–22% chance of getting funded, which means roughly for every one award, you're probably submitting 3 to 4 applications. And so, you know, for my office in OSP, on the pre-award end, part of what we will be focusing on the next year is getting more grants out the door, stimulating faculty grant activity, because the numbers are not with you in this funding environment. And you know, if you have a decline in proposal activity, that will predict declines in award activity, which will result inevitably in declines in expenditure activity. And those three sets of figures, pre-award, award, and expenditure numbers, are another set of metrics that every university looks at. We certainly do it on the inside here, and so as we move forward from this year into next, what you're going to be seeing out of OSP, now that we're fully staffed, you're going to see more emphasis on getting more grants out the door by the faculty, providing more value at the pre-award stage, because the numbers are very tough, and we need to find wherever we can get our money from. And the faculty, obviously, you know, they have their what you call preferred areas where they go for their money historically, but also a lot of faculty are being forced to think outside their normal funding streams to find collaborations in different ways, whether it's in private companies, whether it's a university in England, whether it's an NGO in Asia. You know, people are being called upon to look for different sets of sources for their funding, and that does provide challenges, of course, because, you know, international agreements are completely different. They have different terms and conditions. Every university has different requirements on what they accept or what they want to negotiate. You know, and so, you know, I think this is part of what when we talk about collaboration in the room today, you know, research administrators in this room have defined skills and defined professional attributes that can add value to what the faculty are doing beyond just filling in the forms and making sure the numbers add up. Those are important parts of the job, but those are not, you know, that's not the be-all and end-all of what research administration is.